This is Chris Kelly with the next presentation in our our abs revealed question series, how to make progress with core exercises. All right, more than choosing the proper exercises, I think the most important thing, the most important criteria with core training is, can we make these exercises progressively harder? All right, I think the disconnect that a lot of people have with core training is, I see people doing thousands and thousands of crunches, okay? Thousands of these like low-level exercises that are never going to really change your body, because the thing is, you have to make things progressively harder in order to make your body adapt, okay? So if you're able to do 500 crunches, the only place to go there is to do 600 and then 700 and 800. So rather than doing that, my statement to you with this is, if you can do more than 10 to 15 exercises of anything, it needs to become harder. So that's going to be the key factor in the exercise that we do. And if we look at an example of what I'm talking about here, we have 3 stages of a common exercise that we use in our program. All right, we have a leg lift. So number one, for somebody that is new to our program, we would start them off by just alternating with an alternating leg lift. Okay, one leg is up in the air, the other leg is lowering. All right, they're able to keep their back flat against the floor, and they're able to do more than 10 to 15 reps. From there, they would move to a double leg lift, where once again they're able to lift their legs up and down without their back arching as they're coming up. Once they're able to do that pretty easily, then we can increase the load by holding a stability ball or some sort of a weight between the feet. But ultimately, we're treating core training just like we are strength training. All right, I would never ask you to do a bench press 1,000 times, because it would do nothing. Okay, we need to apply the same logic to core training, because our abs are muscles like anything else. So that really is the X factor. Something I always want you to ask yourself is, how can we make this harder, or how can I make this different in some way to get some sort of an adaptation from the body? So in terms of how we set up our circuits, number one is that with our ab circuits, they're performed back-to-back in an interval style for a period of 10 minutes. So basically what happens is, you're given 2 to 3 exercises you perform back-to-back. So I would say, okay, I want you to perform 1 minute of a plank, followed by 1 minute of a leg lift. All right, the way it's been, we just repeat those 2 things for a period of 10 minutes. So that's fairly simple. Now the way this is set up is that we focus on both strength and what we call stability. So we have strength days where we're doing things that are more devoted to exercises like leg lifts, crunches, twists, things that involve movements of the torso. Okay, so those are things that the legs and the arms are actually moving. We also have stability days where we're concentrating on both planks, side planks, and that kind of thing. And really the combination of those 2 things is the key to working all of the functions of the abs and really starting to get a full development, developing a flat stomach. It's something that we found to work very well. How we make progress with these is that you're given levels for each video. So I'll say, okay, here's a level 1 plank where we put our elbows up on a chair. Here's a level 2 plank where we put our elbows down on the floor. Here's a level 3 plank where we're going to put our feet up on a box. Okay, so if you can do the level 1 plank for 1 minute and it's fairly easy, then the next time that you do that exercise, you move to level 2. Okay, ultimately the goal would be to get to level 3 and to increase it in some way with each workout. And what we do is we ask our participants to post the results in a forum or in our Facebook forum where we can see progress being made. So somebody says, okay, so it's a strength day. I got level 2 on level 1 on round 1. Okay, and then I felt strong, so I moved up to level 2, and then I ended on level 1. What the person would post is their best total for the day. So you know that you had level 2 for 15 reps. Okay, so the goal then for the next workout would either be to get to level 3 or to perform more reps in that period of time. So maybe the goal would be level 2 with 20 reps, or it would be level 3 for a round. But as you can see, these are 2 ways that we can make physical progress in what we ask our clients. So some examples of progressive resistance. Okay, with the leg lift, we already talked about level 1 being we're alternating our legs. We went to a straight leg raise, and then we held a ball between our feet. For something like a plank, we would just move like we would a push-up. So with a push-up, I start in an angle where my hands are up on a box, so I'm not bearing as much of my body weight. The plank is very similar. I would start with my elbows on a chair, and I would rock back and forth on my toes. The goal in that situation would be to keep a flat back. Okay, once I did that, I could move my elbows to the ground because now I'm having to fight more of gravity to keep my back flat, so it's become harder. If I'm able to keep flat there, then I would move my feet onto a step. Okay, and really the only difference between these strength exercises like a leg lift or a straight leg sit-up versus, say, a plank or a side plank is that with the plank, we're just trying to keep the back flat. Okay, the goal is to maintain proper form, whereas with a leg lift or a straight leg sit-up, the goal is to do more. Okay, so that's going to be the big difference and really the only thing that's going to be relevant. Now, when you're posting, though, again, I just want you to think about looking back at your totals throughout the week and say, okay, so this is where I ended today. Okay, I'm doing this workout again in 2 days. How can I make it harder in some way? But by keeping that log and by understanding that, you know, where you were, you're going to know exactly what to do to get better. And that really is the key to core training versus random workouts and hundreds of exercises.